Hi, I'm Mark Johnson with Hobie. I'm here today to show you how to repair an inflatable. Step one can be the most difficult step, finding the leak. So this boat has a small leak. I generally know where it is. So what I do is I get soapy water, and I get a foam brush, and I start spreading it where I think the leak might be. Up there it is. So you see it? So once I've identified the leak, I'm going to go ahead and dry it. So I have my rag right here. So I'm going to dry it, and I have a pen that's going to mark the spot. So it's right here is where I'm going to do my repair. And so you have your repair kit. Always make sure you have a fresh repair kit because the glue does expire over time. So if you have glue that's older than 2 years, you need to find some other glue. So don't use that if it's over 2 years. This is what I recommend is HH66. I've been using this for years. It's a very good contact cement. Key being contact. I like to give myself about a 1/2 inch circumference around the leak. So I'm going to cut a patch, a round patch. It's approximately 1/2 inch around each side, about 1 inch total. And I don't want any hard edges on it. I want them to all be nice and smooth. It makes it look a little bit better. So then I'm going to put my patch back on my board, and I'm going to give it a quick outline. Reason being is I want to contain the glue. I don't want it to go outside of my lines there. It's hard to do a repair with a boat that's inflated. After I've deflated the board, I'm going to go ahead and get gloves on because I don't want to get glue all over myself, and I don't want to get glue all over the board or anything like that. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that both surfaces get a little bit cleaned up. So I use isopropyl alcohol. I want to use enough alcohol to where I can still see the blue, but making it faint. I just know exactly where I'm going to put my my glue, both sides, just like that. Then wait for that to dry. It dries fairly fast because it's alcohol, so I can already see it evaporating. So then I'm going to get my glue, and my glue, I don't want to put a ton of glue. I just want like a nice, thin, even surface. So I get it, and I go, just try to go right to the line because it's just cleaner looking. Stay right to it. Get it up there. If you go outside, it's okay. Get it up there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to let this dry for 5 minutes until it's dry to the touch. Could be a little sooner than 5 minutes, but 5 minutes is a good rule of thumb. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to put them together when they're wet, and you don't want to wait too long. So if you let the glue sit for over 10 minutes, say you walk away, you get distracted, it will not stick. So you have to have a fresh glue on the board. You can do a little cleanup. I got a little bit of glue on the board. Do a little cleanup with the alcohol. Get that off of there. Looks pretty good. When you're looking at your glue, you can kind of see when it's starting to look dry. It doesn't have that real wet look. So it's starting to dry up over here, still wet over here. So I'm not even going to touch it until it looks like it's dry. But we want it completely dry before when we apply the two surfaces. It is a contact cement. You can also, another good trick to do this that I've used, it really kind of creates a really good bond. So after you've applied the glue, you can get a heat gun and put a little bit of heat on it. Now it's nice and dry, the patch. The heat gun really makes the glue pliable and really makes it want to stick. So I'm totally dry to the touch on both sides. So I see my lines, I put my patch right over where I drew the picture, drew the pen line, and then I grab my dull tool. Never want to use a sharp tool around inflatable, and I press it hard. The key to a good patch is pressure, and I'll show you in a second what I do. I just go over the whole entire thing, pressing it down on all sides. I got a nice good bond there. So then I'm going to come back with a couple of blocks. This could be a block of wood. This happens to be just ABS plastic. And I fold it up like this, and I put my other piece down below. And then I grab my C-clamp. There we go. So I get a good clamp on it, and I leave it clamped 8 hours. So we really get a good bond. After 8 hours, I'll pump it back up. I'll go get my soapy water, go around the edges just to make sure that the hole has been patched properly. The keys to a good patch: clean surface. You put glue on both the board and the patch, let it dry to the touch, and then a little bit of heat really activates that glue when it's dry. You put the two together and it's fused. So you get a really good, confident repair.